Diplomatic spat after Poland calls Ukraine ungrateful. The eastern flank of the European Union, particularly Poland, continues to play a crucial role in helping Ukraine fight against Russia's invasion. A recent diplomatic squabble over grain imports compounded by historical issues. And we all know what those historical issues are, right? It's really only one historical issue here, everybody. They say, historical issues. There's only one historical issue here, and that's something called Volhynia Massacre. That's it. There's only one historical issue, y'all. That is it. Only one. This is like if Germany denied the Holocaust, and then Israel's like, hey, Germany, we have some historical issues to flesh out here. No, there's only one historical issue. And in this case, it is the Holocaust, right? I mean, this is what I find so This is what I find so crazy about these stories, is that for decades, since the end of World War II, we have been hearing about the Holocaust. Holocaust. And we should talk about the Holocaust, right? We should not stop talking about the Holocaust. We need to talk about all aspects of the Holocaust. We need to be talking about all aspects of the Holocaust. The German Holocaust of the Jews, absolutely. We should also be talking about the Ukrainian atrocity committed against the Polish people. That was part of the Holocaust. Because when the Ukrainian Nazis were killing people, they were killing Poles and Jews. So the atrocities done to Polish people, both Christian Polish people and Jewish Polish people, the atrocity done to Polish people, both Jewish and ethnic Polish, is part of Holocaust history. Who is denying the Holocaust? Ukraine. Ukraine is denying the Holocaust. Ukraine is denying the Holocaust. Why isn't this a big deal? For decades, we've been hearing about Holocaust denial. For decades, we've been hearing about how Iran denies the Holocaust and Iran sympathizes with Adolf Hitler, etc., etc. This was such a big deal. Ahmadinejad likes Hitler. Okay, that was bad. But we're now supporting Ukraine, which denies the Holocaust. It denies the Holocaust that its national heroes were responsible for. But this is not a big deal all of a sudden. All of a sudden, all the Holocaust stuff thrown out the window, no one gives a shit. Why? It's political. That's the reason why. That is the only reason why. It is political. That's it. We have to fight the Russians. Doesn't matter who we support. Nazis, criminals, it doesn't matter. We have to fight the Russians. So all morals, all principles, everything gets thrown out the window. Everything gets thrown out the window. Bullshit. It's bullshit. The eastern flank of the European Union, particularly Poland, continues to play a crucial role, etc., etc. The ongoing invasion of Ukraine has placed a major strain on the entire continent, not least Poland, whose government has maintained a reputation as one of the most steadfast supporters of its neighbors' defense efforts. And this is true. Poland has been the biggest supporter of Ukraine in Europe. Absolutely. And Poland simply asks that Ukraine allows the victims of Ukrainian nationalism to be given a proper burial, allow those bodies to be returned to Poland so that they may have a proper burial. And Ukraine says, "Niet." Ukraine says, no, we're not going to do that for you. No, F you. Why? Those are the victims of the national heroes of Ukraine. So oh my God. The Russians are right when this is what I hate about all these like NATO nerds. They'll sit there and they'll be like, no Nazi problem, no ultra-nationalist Ukrainian problem, no Banderite problem, blah, 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 blah. The Russians are right when they say that there is most definitely a problem in Ukraine with its nationalist ideology. Because it's come to the point where the Ukrainians don't even want to give the bodies of those who were killed by Ukraine's national heroes to Poland. And Poland is Ukraine's biggest helper. And Ukraine doesn't even want to allow the victims of Ukrainian nationalism to be given a proper burial. They still revere Bandera, Shukhevich, Melnik, all these monsters. It is a problem. And to sit there and act like, oh, I don't see it, no problem, no Nazi problem, Wagner, 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 to sit there and pretend that it doesn't exist is very, very cringe. It's extremely cringe, everyone. It's like the liberals who say, oh, there's no crime problems. No crime problems in New York. No crime problems in Chicago. No crime problems in California. No, everything is fine. The police are the problem. Their eyes are shut. They deliberately gaslight people and act as if there isn't a problem when there is. It's the same thing with the Ukrainian nationalist ideology. There is a problem. And people in Poland, believe me, Polish people are not naive to this stuff. A lot of Polish people know that there's a problem in Ukraine with this stuff. They know that this problem exists. A lot of people in Poland are against, they have been against since the beginning with this, against this indiscriminate support for Ukraine. The ongoing invasion of Ukraine has placed a major strain on the entire continent, etc., etc. These strains, however, have created a dilemma. Should helping Ukraine come at the expense of a country's domestic interest? On Wednesday, Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said that Poland remained committed to defending its domestic interests despite the invasion. We will always defend Poland's good name, its security, and the interest of no other country will ever prevail over the interests of the Republic of Poland, Morawiecki said in a tweet. Their kerfuffle broke out after Marcin Przydacz, the head of Polish President Andrzej Duda's international policy office, was asked about the issue of extending the import ban of Ukrainian grain to Poland and for other Eastern EU members states beyond the 15th September deadline. So Poland has stopped accepting Ukrainian grain. Why? Because Ukraine was flooding the Polish market with low-quality grain. This brought down the price of grain, and it was detrimental to domestic grain farmers in Poland who could not compete with the very cheap prices of low-quality Ukrainian grain. So the Polish government just put a ban on Ukrainian grain. So what does it say here? It boils down to food, grain, etc., etc. What else does it say here? Historical issues. That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in these historical issues. Yeah. Anyway, it's like Poland has given all this support for Ukraine. And I always knew that something like this would happen, right? I always knew that eventually there was going to be some kind of uproar from Poland because of the historical problem that exists within the paradigm of Ukrainian nationalism. Basically, the fact that Ukraine denies the Holocaust of Polish people. Doesn't want to talk about it. Doesn't want to talk about the fact that massacres were done by Ukraine's nationalist heroes. Poland doesn't like this. They've never liked this. Back in 2018, there was a spat between Ukraine and Poland over this issue. That issue hasn't gone away. It's still there because it's never been sincerely addressed by Ukraine. That's the problem, everyone. So Poland is, my opinion is that Poland wants to take Western Ukraine back. You have all these Polish people saying, that's not true. No, not true. The fact is that cities like Lvov were once part of Poland. The fact is that Volhynia is part of Ukraine, but historically it was a part of Poland. The fact is that there are regions in Western Ukraine that were historically part of Poland. Poland wants this region back for itself. That's what I think. And I think that Poland is going to try to see if there is an opportunity to retake that part of Western Ukraine. That's my theory. I could be wrong.